article tonight. So next year is shaping up to be another busy election year here in New York State. On top of the legislative races, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand will be running for her first full 6-year term, and already some Republicans are lining up to challenge her. My next guest is the only Republican who has officially launched his campaign so far. He is Nassau County Comptroller George Maragos. Thank you very much for your time, Comptroller.
Liz, thank you for having me.
It's good to see you. So you actually, last year, briefly flirted with the idea of challenging Chuck Schumer.
That's correct, to lay the groundwork and get my name known across the state.
So when you did that, and you didn't make it onto the ballot, when you did that, did you really intend to challenge Chuck Schumer, or it was really sort of to try and, you know, get your name out there, as you just
No,
said?
it was really looking forward and leading up to the campaign for the 2012 senatorial race against Gillibrand.
Well, why not? I mean, she was up then, too. Why not challenge her?
I think there were a number of good Republicans that had declared their candidacy, and it didn't make any sense for me to jump into that mix.
Yeah, and actually, you're pretty newly elected. I mean, you haven't even finished a 4-year term yet.
Right, but I'm unusual in that I'm not a politician. I bring 35 years of private business experience to politics, which is skills that are in great need, as I'm finding. And I think our country has serious problems that we need to address, and they all lead back to Washington. Okay,
well, before we get into those problems, and obviously there are many, and we could probably talk about them for quite some time. You know, many of those problems are financial. For example, right now they're in Washington trying to figure out a debt ceiling deal, which has eluded them up until this point. There are financial troubles in Nassau County. The county is actually under a control board. You are the comptroller of Nassau County.
Right.
Now, whether or not you actually contributed to the troubles, because again, you're you're in a first term, don't you believe that you'll be tarred with that?
No, I don't think so. What we've done in Nassau County is a remarkable turnaround. We inherited a budget deficit of $130 million, and within a year, we turned it around and we declared a $26 million surplus.
Yes, I'm aware.
And for 2 consecutive years now, we have not raised property taxes. I do not know of any other county that has declared a surplus without raising any property taxes.
Well, hold on, though. I mean, the county executive was forced, actually, to bring things under control by a state control board. I mean, that's not success.
No, actually, the state control board has hurt the county more than it has helped.
Yeah, I've seen that you've said that. I don't understand. Why is that?
Well, because they forced certain accounting changes that added about $70 million of additional expense to the budget that was not there before. And they only helped us by allowing us to freeze salaries to the tune of $9 million. So net, they have hurt the county by $61 million this year alone.
Okay, well then how can you claim a complete turnaround? If in fact NIFA has hurt you, you're also claiming a turnaround. I don't understand where the logic is there.
In 2010, we took a $130 million deficit and we turned it into a $26 million surplus. In 2011, they projected that we will have a 1% deficit, if that's reasonable to predict, and declared a control period. We came out with our first quarter projections, and even with this $61 million that they have hurt the county, we are still projecting, because of cuts that the county executive has made, that we will end this year in balance.
Okay, so all of you're not concerned, though, that all of these financial troubles, you're going to have to run with that attached to you in some way?
No, I don't. What we're saying, we've turned things around. We've ended 2010 with a surplus, and we're tracking this year in balance, and we haven't raised property taxes for 2 consecutive years. That's a remarkable story, I think. Okay, so
how long is NIFA, this control board, actually going to be continuing to control things in Nassau County?
Well, probably for a long time, because we think it was politically motivated. What has happened in Nassau County in the last 2 years, it went from complete Democratic control to complete Republican control.
Right.
So this is the last remnants in effect. Complete political motivation to take the county over, and really what their only authority is to approve contracts and to approve borrowing. So we've reduced our borrowing, we've reduced our structural gap, we've balanced the budget, we've turned a surplus.
Okay, so how exactly are you going to present yourself as a better option than Kirsten Gillibrand, who by all accounts, is quite popular, actually, and the last time that your party tried to take her out, it didn't work so well.
Well, I'm not sure that she's popular. We have unemployment that is skyrocketing and will probably continue, where our economy is not competitive. There were 3 remarkable events that took place last week, all negative for our economy. And where was the junior senator? Nowhere. The New York Stock Exchange got sold to the Germans, the heart and soul of our free market capital system. We had the last launch of the shuttle, which brings an end a remarkable 50 years of innovation and leadership in technology to America. How ironic that is that we put the first man on the moon, and now we're going to be hitching a ride from the Russians.
Well, wait a minute. Would you vote if you were in Congress to extend the space program? It's very expensive.
We're spending a lot more money elsewhere. The space program was, you know, the center of technology innovation, you know, that allows us to be the leaders in computers, in wireless technology, in communications that we are today. And all of that technology originated from NASA.
You know, let me ask you, also the conversation right now is on Medicaid and Medicare. I'm curious, had you been in Congress, would you have voted yes on Paul Ryan's budget?
No, I don't think the Paul Ryan budget is, you know, the plan is appropriate. I think the Obama plan is going to bankrupt the country and kill Medicare. Nobody is addressing the core issue, which is controlling costs. We all want affordable health care, but yet we're not addressing the cost through tort reform, through interstate insurance regulation, through free and open markets in the pharmaceutical industry.
But in your mind, because right now the fight is over Medicare and Medicaid and whether these, according to the Democrats, entitlement programs should in fact be reformed or cut at all. The White House has put it on the table.
Right.
Or tax revenues should go up. Do you believe that some combination of the two, reform of these 2 programs or cutting of these 2 programs plus tax revenue, or no tax revenue?
No, what I'm saying is, why don't we tackle the core problem, which is controlling costs, so that we can provide affordable health care for everybody. So we're given false choices to make, as opposed to focusing in on controlling costs. And I think we can control costs and provide affordable health care to all Americans.
So would you vote then to raise the debt ceiling if you were in Congress right now?
I think we have to. We have no choice. But we also have to get serious of making significant cuts in the entitlement program.
Okay, so then are the Republicans right now wrong in holding out the way that they have been? Because right now you have the Republicans saying, well, no tax revenues. We will not, in fact, vote to raise the
well,
debt ceiling.
they are being fiscally responsible, because if they raise the debt ceiling without any preconditions on or serious commitments to cut costs, what they simply will be doing is giving the Obama administration another blank check. And America cannot afford to give another blank check to this administration.
Okay, let me just ask you, I mean, you are here today in Albany, and thank you for being here in our studio, because we like to see people in person. You're meeting with GOP leaders locally. You've been going around the state to do that. The campaign is in 2012. It's a while away now.
Right.
You've been raising money.
I have not raised any money yet, and I will not raise money until the nomination. I will be spending my own money. I don't think it's appropriate for me to ask people for money for me to run until I get the nomination. And
you have told me previously you're willing to spend up to $5 million of
Correct.
your own money. Is that, I mean, can you afford more? How are you, that's a lot of money, $5 million.
Well, but it's nothing compared to what Gillibrand is going to be raising and spending. I mean, she raised $3 million in 1 quarter, the first quarter of this year. You know, and how was she able to do that is beyond me. But
do you believe you'll be successful in getting the nomination? There are others. Joe Giaguardi says he's thinking about it again.
I'm sure there will be others, and that's why I've started early. I want to show that I'm a serious candidate and get around the state and meet the people and the Republicans and the conservatives, and hopefully earn their trust and nomination.
Are you willing to battle this out in a primary?
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I hope they will not be a primary.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I thank you very much, Comptroller. It's good to see you.
Liz, thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're done. Yeah, that